We play a game occasionally called Would You Rather. You give me two tough choices, and I have to make a choice on this best for last. You ready to go, Joy?
Let's do it. All right, would you rather Bill Belichick makes a Super Bowl or Tom Brady makes a Super Bowl?
I would rather Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl. First of all, it's so insulting to insinuate that Brady won because of a system. We all acknowledge, we acknowledge he's the best football coach ever. But there are people that during his run said Aaron Rodgers was better than Tom Brady because Tom Brady was a system guy. So if Tom Brady wins a Super Bowl, we'll acknowledge Belichick's still great. Nobody denies it.
Right.
Best coach ever. And then we'll say, okay, it wasn't a system. So it's a win for Tom. Not necessarily over Belichick, but a validation of Tom's greatness, which shouldn't be argued.
I think it's so much more interesting if Tom makes the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's a more fun person.
Well, it's, and everything else you just said. So the Bengals make the playoffs or the Browns make the playoffs? Would you rather?
I'm seen as anti-both. I'd rather the Browns make the playoffs. Number one, I picked them. I'd rather be right than wrong, although it's not the end of the day. But I would say this. If the Browns make the playoffs, it's because they have a bunch of good players. If the Bengals make the playoffs, it's probably because Lamar Jackson got hurt and Big Ben came back and got hurt. They don't have a good enough roster to win it. So if they won it, there'd have to be some weird circumstances that Cincinnati won the division, like multiple injuries to star players and other teams, and that's not good for the sport.
So Tua starts week 1 or Justin Herbert starts week 1? Would you rather?
Tua starts week 1. First of all, I think he has an it quality. He's already selling more home jerseys than any NFL player. And frankly, the Miami Dolphins have a rich history. I miss the Dolphins being good.
So do I.
There's a glamour to the Dolphins the Chargers don't have even in Los Angeles. Miami's a glamour franchise. It's almost like Miami Hurricane football. It's nothing against Clemson. But if you told me Alabama was great and there could be one other program that's great out east, I would say Miami Hurricanes because there's glamour to them. I think Tua's got some glamour. I think the Dolphins have some glamour. So if he could start early, and they won 5 of their last 9, and we know their defense will be good because they spent money on it and their coach is excellent at it. So Tua wouldn't have to be great to be a hit.
The Eagles win the NFC East or any other teams win the NFC East? Would you rather?
Eagles win the NFC East, mostly because I picked them. And I also think in sports, excellence should be rewarded. I think their owner's excellent. Their GM's excellent. Their coach, I never thought Doug Peterson would be this good this fast, and Carson Wentz is terrific. So what it would be telling you is if you've got all the mechanisms at the top of the franchise have their act together, it works. If Washington wins, it's telling you can have a goofy owner and win. You don't have to be great at quarterback and win. I like a sport that rewards greatness, and Philadelphia's got B+ to A+ people at the top.
Would you rather the Packers finish 12-4 or the Packers finish 4-12?
Oh, that's an easy one. Packers finish 12-4. They're on Fox. I mean, let's be honest about this. I root for my company to succeed. If Green Bay's great, they're anytime I can take a small market on a network I work for, because I know the big markets can get ratings, but when Green Bay is good, it's great for Fox. We can put them on prime times. They drive our 4 o'clock window. They have a star quarterback. They have rich history. People get this confused. There's no value for Joy and I watching star quarterbacks get hurt or stink.
No.
I want Joe Burrow to tear it up.
There's no value in regular quarterbacks getting hurt.
Yeah, it's bad football.
Bad. Yeah, it's not good for anybody. So would you rather the Raiders finish 11-5 or the Raiders finish 5-11?
Raiders finishing 11-5. I would say Raiders finishing 11-5 because of this. First of all, I love Vegas.
Right.
And we'd probably talk more about Vegas. I'd probably go more to Vegas. But the other thing it would mean, and this is really important, the Raiders are right now kind of a bottom 7 or 8 franchise. They can't quite get it right. It would mean, wow, one of the bottom franchises is now back near the top of the league, and leagues are as good as their bottom. The NFL, when you got 7 or 8 drag shows going on, it just drags down the league because they're always playing good teams. So if the Raiders suddenly popped and became an elite franchise, you're like, okay, the bottom now is Jacksonville and Cincinnati. We'd have no bottom in the league, and I think that's great for the NFL.
Would you rather the Browns keep Odell or the Browns trade Odell?
Trade Odell. First of all, Cleveland's got a million weapons. the whole OBJ Baker thing doesn't work. He was 23rd among wide receivers in receiving yards last year and tied for 42nd in receiving touchdowns. It's not working. I don't think it helps Baker Mayfield. And again, the NFL's better if Baker is winning. If Baker goes 4-12 again, the story's over. It didn't work. He's Johnny Manziel. It doesn't. Nobody cares. So, and I think Odell would be spectacular in a couple of big market cities. I think there are certain athletes. Shaq was one. Shaq was way better in L.A. than Orlando or Phoenix. You know, Shaq is big. Shaq needs to play in a big space. Joe Namath wouldn't have been interesting in Jacksonville. Joe Namath in New York was fascinating. You know what I mean? Brett Favre was great when he played for an iconic Packer franchise. The Jets thing felt wrong. Second biggest franchise in New York. Odell, to me, 49ers. By the way, Miami Dolphins with Tua, Pittsburgh Steelers. It just feels bigger for the league.
Would you rather Tom Brady has his first losing season or Russell Wilson has his first losing season?
Tom Brady. First of all, if Brady has a losing season, nobody's going to think less of him. Nobody thinks less of Michael Jordan because of the Wizards. Nobody. If Russell Wilson has a losing season, all these ridiculous people who think he's overrated are going to have yap, yap, chirp, chirp. I think there will be some sense that he's overrated. If Brady loses, it's like, the division's great. New Orleans got better players. I mean, if he goes 7-9, we're not selling the farm on that. It's like, yeah. There you go. There you go. Would you rather?
Odell in Miami would be amazing.
What would be Odell in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good at wide receiver.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, their defense will be better. Anytime you have a coach and his specialty, you notice what he did? Brian Flores went out. He's going to draft the side of the ball he's not an expert in, but he got veterans under the side of the ball he is well aware of. So Brian's going to enhance. Well, Brian Flores and the Dolphins, all they said this offseason, if we lose, we're going to lose close because we're not going to give up points. We're going to make, and I think that's really smart. What they're basically saying is when Tua starts, we're not asking him to win shootouts. When Tua comes in and plays, we give up 22 points a game. If he loses, we're not asking him to throw 40 times. You know, that's what Andrew Luck dealt with. Got to win shootouts or you can't win. What does that mean? 36 pass attempts, you get your ribs blistered. So if Tua can come in and the defense is good, we create a running game, we upgrade the offense, we don't ask Tua to throw 34 times. So I think the Dolphins actually, we said this last year, was the best tanking team of all time.
Well, they were establishing a culture,
and
so it really didn't feel like they were tanking.
No.
Once the season started. At the beginning, it was like they're going to be the worst team in the league. And then, of course, we knew that Cincinnati did a better job at that. But
I told you, I thought Brian Flores was the rare losing record deserved coach of the year consideration. If you consider what they did, he looks like the first Belichick guy. By the way, I don't understand why Belichick's assistants don't copy him. Like Flores went out and copied him. Culture, not going to pay a fortune for my quarterback. I will pay for defense at corner, and linebacker's crucial. So he gets Byron Jones. I'll pay for it. Belichick will do that, and we need a really good secret sauce linebacker, Van Noy, high IQ to run the defense, and accumulate draft picks. It was just like Belichick does. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.